Chapter 20. Noah and the Old Man. "I think I'm starting to understand," said the old man. "It can be a very lonely life, leaving all the people you love behind. You need to be very sure about what you're doing. The point comes, after all, where it's too late to go home." "But you came home," said Noah. "You kept your promise. Once you received the letter saying your father was ill, you came home again." "It's not quite as simple as all that," said the old man sadly, reaching for another piece of wood and staring at it for a long time before beginning to carve a pair of legs in the base of it. "I haven't finished my story yet, after all. But look at the time," he added. "Don't you think it might be an idea not to run away after all? You could still get back home before dark if you wanted to." "I think I'd be in far too much trouble to return home now," said Noah, looking a little regretful of his actions. "I'd better stick with my original plan." "I'm sure your parents would forgive you," said the old man. "They'd just be glad to have you back." Noah thought about it. Even though he'd only been gone from home for a few hours, he was already starting to miss it a little. But every time he thought of it, he also thought about the fact that to go back there was to face up to what was going to come next, and he wasn't sure if he was ready for that. "But why not?" asked the old man, surprising Noah, for he was sure he hadn't spoken out loud. "What comes next?" "Bad things," he replied. "What kind of bad things?" "Did you really never have a mother?" Noah asked the old man. "No," he replied sadly, "just a father. I often wished I had a mother, of course. I always thought they seemed like very nice people, most of them. Until today, that is." "Why?" asked Noah. "What's so different about today?" "Well," said the old man with a laugh, "you're telling me all these wonderful stories about your mother, about how kind she was to you, how thoughtful. But still, you've run away from her. I can only assume that she's not as nice as you're making out her to be." "But that's not it!" cried Noah in frustration, standing up and walking over to the window. "Look," he said after a moment, noticing a great to-do taking place outside on the street. "There's a lot of people gathering outside." He looked down to see where a small crowd was standing, staring across at the toy shop and taking notes. The Dutch hand, who had been so helpful to him earlier in the day, was among their number, and he seemed to be growing quite energized as he discussed something with a red-faced, middle-aged man who appeared to be in charge, for he was waving his arms in the air a lot and telling the people to keep quiet so he could think. The donkey was eating a banana that a woman had unpeeled but was still holding in the air as she stared across the road. "What do they want?" "Oh, I wouldn't mind them," said the old man, refusing even to bother to look. "Every so often they stand over there and write things down. Then they compose articles denouncing me to the village newsletter that everyone receives, but no one ever reads. It's not that they have a problem with me or with this shop. It's really that tree they object to," he said, pointing towards the branches, which were swaying a little in the late afternoon breeze, and stopped the moment they realized they were being observed. "They say it's not normal, what goes on here, but I say I don't care. Who asked for their opinion anyway? The Dachshund will be on my side, not to worry, and the donkey. They'll keep the troublemakers at bay. Now, what do you think of this?" Noah turned round and took the puppet. This is a picture of the wall-mounted timekeeping device. Noah turned round and took the puppet the old man had just finished carving. It seemed to be some sort of mongoose. "It's very good," said Noah. How did you do it so quickly? I have a lot of experience, said the old man. Noah watched the crowd again for a moment, longer before sitting down on the window seat. Dad says that the doctors are going to make Mum better, he said a few moments later. At least, that's what he used to say. Now he says that I have to be very brave. And your mum? Asked the old man. Would I be right in thinking that she's in hospital? She was, said Noah, turning away so the old man couldn't see the tears forming in his eyes. She's back home now, in bed. She came home yesterday, you see. She insisted on it. She said that was where she wanted to be when she... He found that he couldn't get the words out now and scrunched up his face and hands to keep himself steady. But if she's at home and she's not well... But if she's at home and she's not well, shouldn't you be with her? Noah turned back and looked at the old man. You ran away from home too, he said. But I came back, said the old man, when I found out that my father was ill. Did it take you long? Asked Noah, standing up now and helping him to clear the last of the cups and the glasses from the table. His stomach was full at last, and even though there was a tray of afternoon dinner chocolates standing on the counter next to him, he only glanced at them for a moment before shaking his head and looking away, leaving them to shuffle off despondently back to one of the cupboards. Did you get there in time? When you got the letter from your father being ill, did you get home before anything? Before he died, the old man said. What's the matter, boy? Can't you say the word? It's only a word, you know. Just a group of letters strung together in a random order. The word itself is a nothing compared to the meaning. Yes, that, said Noah, looking down at the floor and clenching his jaws and fists so tightly he thought his fingers might go right through his palms and out the other side if he wasn't careful. He noticed there was one last puppet in the box, and he took it out and looked at it. It appeared to be the puppet of an elderly rabbit whose whiskers twitched when you pulled his string before placing it next to all the others. Did you get home before he died?